Hi everyone, Lillian here from Card Crafts by Lily. Thanks for joining me today. I've received my new catalogue and I'm so excited about it. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't received one and would like one, just drop me a message, drop me a comment and I'll pop one in the post to you. And you'll just love it. You'll absolutely love it. Full of so many gorgeous things and so many ideas, so much inspiration. So as I say, just drop me a comment, drop me a line, and I'll get one off to you in the post. Providing you're UK, obviously. The postage would be a bit prohibitive to elsewhere. So today's project is the beautiful Summer Silhouette stamp set. Here it is here. Sorry about the reflection from these lights. Absolutely gorgeous, so much fun to play with. I have done so many projects with this. Today I wanted to share one with you using the watercolor card. I will show you some of my other projects at another time, but we'll do this one for today. Absolutely love it. I have to say that it was inspired by the very talented Michelle Zindorf, and I'll put her blog details up on my blog if you want to check that out. She really is fab, very much in a style that I love and enjoy working with. And but this is my take on it anyway. I do hope you like it. So if you bear with me, we will get set up and ready to go. Okay, that's us ready to go. So I start with my watercolor card from Stampin' Up. I basically take one sheet of this and cut it into 4. This piece is 7.5 by 11.4 centimeters. I take my Blushing Bride ink pad, and I actually like to use the sponges for this. I know that's a bit discolored, but these are great. Once you wash them, once you use them and wash them, the ink really does clean out of it, and by that I mean it doesn't, after it's been washed, it doesn't transfer. So even though this has been used on a different color before, I can still use it. So I'll just get it nice and rounded. You don't want any square edges touching your card, just get it nice and rounded. You could use a bull clip if you want. I'm quite messy, I don't mind getting my fingers dirty. So that's the Blushing Bride, but actually that was re-inked, so it's probably quite inky. And I just kind of work it, let's see, around this kind of area here, and just rub it in like that. If you have a splodge mat, that's actually very handy for doing this sort of technique. So I don't take any great care with it, as you can see. I just give it a general kind of sponge across like that. In fact, you know, I might actually take that up a little bit more. Let's see what this is going to look like. Sometimes I just experiment as I go along. But isn't that the fun of it? Sure. Okay, so the next thing I want is my gorgeous Melon Mambo. I love this colour so much. And do the same thing basically, but on the other side. So here we go. And take it round, and I just continue this slightly on the other two edges as well, like that. So we've got this mostly Blushing Bride here, the Melon Mambo sweeps round here and then down the edges, just like that. Next thing, oops, I want to bring in is a little bit of Pear Pizzazz, and this is just for along the bottom. Let me just check this colour out first. Yeah, that's okay. Right. And it doesn't matter, I mean, going over the colours that you've already laid down, again, that's part of the fun of it, because on the watercolour paper, it changes the colour that you're laying down. It can bring up quite unusual colours, but that's all part of the fun. So, here we go. I don't know why I tend to work across myself. Let me do this. That makes more sense. Silly me. Okay. Oops, it is. Let me lift that. So that's just a bit of green laid across the bottom. Looks like absolutely nothing at the minute, but it will come together beautifully, believe me. And just for a little bit of depth, if you wish, you could add, I think that's it, yes, the wild wasabi. Just darken it maybe at one side a little bit. Let's see how that comes out. Every card I make in this, it turns out differently. But it's not always very, whoops, I nearly spilt my coffee. That wouldn't be good. Right, so that's basically the card base all ready to go. The next thing I need is the gorgeous little flower stamp, at least the base of it anyway. Now, the first one I stamp will be, let me see, it will be in Pear Pizzazz. And then I will use markers to bring that in. Let me just see if I can. There we go. I'll probably end up working out of shot at some point. I usually do. So kind of position this so that it's across the card. Even if it ends up with stock in midair, you can fill that in with a marker. Okay, now that is faint looking. Don't worry about that at all. Oh, actually I shouldn't be daubing that one. The next one I need, because it's in the darker area, I'm doing it in, let me stamp that off. Sorry about the noise. I'm doing that one in Blackberry Bliss. So here we go. I'll bring this one up a little bit more. I'm just getting it a couple of seconds, especially as it's on the watercolour. Let it. Oops, I've smudged that slightly, but you know what? That's going to be fine. It will be absolutely fine. The next thing I need is, again, bring in the Pear Pizzazz and the little leaf. Stamp a couple of these on the bottom, just to fill in that space a little bit. Oh, that's quite light. I might actually, let's see, go with it for now. Might actually bring the wild wasabi back because I've darkened that down quite a bit. Let's bring that back in, see how that goes. Yeah, that's better. There we go. That's grand. Make it up as you go along. Okay, now, and the next colour will be Blackberry Bliss. Let's give this a little clean, because that colour is quite dark. Okay, and Blackberry Bliss. I know it sounds funny, Blackberry Bliss release, but I think it works beautifully. Just a couple here. Give it a second. And maybe another, let's see, I don't want too many. Another one here. Okay, so that's basically the outline of the flowers that I want in. The next thing I want to do, I'll keep this out actually, is bring back my Melon Mambo. And this lovely little stamp, that's the flowers for the top of it. Okay. Gorgeous. Give it a little wipe and then the Blackberry Bliss again. Right here. Yeah, happy with that. Now here's where you start playing and having a bit of fun. Now with, let me see, I'm going to use, the Wild Wasabi, excuse me, Wild Wasabi marker, and deepen these down a wee bit. Okay, and likewise with the Blackberry Bliss. Excuse me, I have something tickling my throat. I need a drink. Just one sec. Okay, hopefully that's better. Right, and I am using the pen end on these. So it's just to give it a bit more depth. I'm actually not too careful about following the lines exactly. I don't mind drawing in a few extra. Deepen that a little. And I'm actually drawing this down in through the leaves so it's not hanging kind of in mid-air there. It will, I would imagine, be hidden eventually by the sentiment anyway. Okay, so that's the flowers drawn in. What I want to do now is use my gel pen. I'm using two here because they're almost run out. I'm waiting for my order to arrive. And while we've darkened this down, we also want to bring in a little bit of light. So I choose, let's see, the flowers have like a little four-leafed flower and almost like a wee dot flower. So I choose all the four-leaf flowers and give them a wee dot with the white gel pen. Just, as I say, this isn't the best, just to bring a bit of light into it. Let's see. Yeah, there's probably enough left in this pen to do it. Likewise with this, you'll see it a little bit more with this one, I think, because it's in the darker area of the card. It just makes it, I don't know, that little bit more magical, a little bit more kind of dreamscape, I suppose. Okay, and likewise down. Now, I don't really draw on the flower stems so much as I draw kind of, or scratch beside it. Let's see. Now, for the leaves, we've also got our markers. I'll leave out the pear pizzazz one because I've actually come in quite dark with those, so I'm going to use the Wild Wasabi and give the underneath of the leaves and the leaf stems, bring them kind of back in as well. Just give them a wee bit of shading. You see how it's coming? A bit of light and shade. And now a little bit of white again. Kind of always, I do it on the, oh come on the opposite side. I wonder, let me check. That pen's maybe better. Again, just, whoops, I only did the wrong side. Just scratch it a little rather than draw solid lines. Okay, do you see how that's bringing the leaves and all back in? They're not quite so hidden in that deep, deep dark melon mambo. Oh, keep this out. And I just put, just to lift it a little bit, that these don't actually really signify anything other than to lift the colour a little bit. Maybe made those a little bit heavy, but it should fade. Let me see. Give that a bit of a colouring over. That's a wee bit heavier than I would have liked it. Okay, and next thing we need is my white stays on, whatever way you wish to pronounce it. Now I'm hoping mine is wet enough. Again, I'm waiting. Ooh, could be. Waiting on my order. So a wee tip: do not get white stays on onto black trousers, as I've already done. Ink up the tiny little flower again, just to break up the colour. And don't worry if this doesn't stamp too well, because you can go back over it with the gel pen. So close this up fairly quickly because StazOn tends to, whoops a daisy, I'm all thumbs today. StazOn tends to dry very, very quickly. And as I said, just bring in the colour of these. It's actually quite nice to do these with the gel pen anyway. There we go, that's the main image done. Okay, that's it all layered up. I just want to put on sentiment now. I'm using the Modern Label Punch. I really shouldn't be using this, to be honest, because it's retired, much to my dismay. However, I don't have, I've ordered the Washi Label Punch, which I think would be a good replacement for this. But in the meantime, I'll just have to use that. So I'm going to use a Happy Anniversary stamp in this instance, and they are from, or that is from the Teeny Tiny Sentiment stamp set. You get 24 stamps in that stamp set, and they're all small. They all fit inside the little word window, cover a whole range of sentiments. Absolutely priceless. It's one that you've got to have in your stash. You will use it time and time and time again. So here we go. Let's try and cut this straight for a change. And glue it down. Here we go. A little bit of the Tombow, the multi-purpose glue. Wouldn't be without it. Let me grab this. There go. That'll take a little bit more on the back, or you can put it up in dimensionals, whatever suits you best. I'm happy enough with this, and I'm going to actually cover that bottom of that little stalk that I mentioned anyway, so quite happy with that. Oopsie daisy. There we go. That's our little card finished. I hope that you have enjoyed the tutorial today. If you have any questions, queries, comments, should they be good or bad, I appreciate all feedback. Do pop me a wee note, and hop over to my blog, and all the measurements and further instruction and details will be on there. But that's it for now, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Bye bye.